Okay, it's gonna be another super busy week. Just moved the cucumbers and tomatoes back out. Gotta get some bed prep ready to plant. Plant maintenance, trying to get plastic on the tunnels, harvest, weeding, everything. Alright, so another part of the tunnel is they send you these channels, and this is for the wiggle wire to go in and hold the plastic tight. So now that these are up on everything, we'll put the plastic over this, pull it tight, and then someone will come through with a wiggle wire and set it in tight. But it's too windy to do that right now. Hey, you out here helping? Still too windy to get the plastic on. So we have the crew out here, Janie, Leela, Emma, Adri, and then Sandy came to volunteer today too. And we just crushed out a bunch of work. So I'm gonna go around and just show kind of like what gets done weekly and what we did today. And for this time of year in the spring, which is probably one of the busier times. So this was direct seeded spinach that I think a lot of seeds washed out from the rain, like the rain that like kind of almost flooded this. Up to the rain gauge again to see how much it rained. 3.5 inches. So we had started extra seeds, and that's something we always do with spinach is if we direct seed a bed, because it can be kind of finicky, we'll start seeds in a seed flat so that we can fill in the gaps. So they're filled in and ready for the rain that we're supposed to get tomorrow. Apparently it's going to be like 1 to 2 inches. Really something we don't need, but I guess it's better than a drought. We also got the weed mat down in this bed because next week we're putting the cucumbers and tomatoes out. We could put them out this week, but one of the forecasts is down to 27. And the last time we had tomatoes in a tunnel, even when they were covered and it was that cold, they got roasted. So we're gonna wait. I had in a time lapse this bed in tunnel 5, so that was prepped and seeded in arugula. This whole area here in plot 7 is kale, Swiss chard, and collards. So these are all long-term crops, so they're all weed matted, and it's been our experience with kale that it does better with weed mat. So probably because it's so hot here, it helps hold the moisture in the soil. A lot of people rip on the fact that there's plastic down, but there are a lot of benefits to it. And in the summer, it would actually keep the soil cooler for things like salad and stuff like that. This is plot 6, so this is the onions that we've been planting a little bit here and there every week. And we harvested out the rest of the carrots out of here and then flipped it directly to the onions. And we also cultivated all of this. So the early cultivation with onions is super critical. Like, they hate weed competition. Carrots do too. They'll end up growing through it normally, but definitely don't want to do that with the onions. So if you all remember, when we first planted these, and then as we planted more, and then planted more. Alright, this is the backpack sprayer. This is what I use for all the foliar fruits. And adding like the nematophagous fungi, the beneficial nematodes. So it's a 2-gallon tank. It's everything mixed together, and then yeah, there's application rates and everything, so it's pretty easy. Okay, I ran the irrigation for an hour, and Now it's just a matter of and then when this is all completed, I'll turn the irrigation back on. We really want this stuff to get in the soil. This is how they're doing now. So that's what got done today. And we got all the channel here on the tunnels in Plat 10. And so once the wind dies down, the plan is to go and put the plastic on. And also, while Jay and I were putting the wiggle wire channels on the tunnels, Tori and Leela planted this in salad and the other half of that bed over there in salad as well. So yeah, Tuesday is definitely one of those days where we're just like trying to get everything done. And so the carrots that we harvested were seeded in September and harvested now, end of March. So when we were seeding them, I was saying they'll grow all winter under row cover, and I'll show you guys how well they grew. So here's one of the totes. Yeah, you can see they're just nice, and they're really, really tasty. Customers really like them. Alright, so I just took the four-wheeler around with the trailer to pick up all the random tools. So this is like the aftermath of a couple really productive days. Just all this stuff was just laying around out there. I left this by the tunnels. I left this out for the amendments. Don't know where these came from. This was by tunnel 5. This is way off by itself for some reason. Can't have enough buckets laying around, I guess. Random hammer. Yeah, that's the reality. So the irrigation stations we eventually want to turn into like mini tool sheds. So like the stir posts and the spring rakes would hang there, and then yeah. But this stuff is, you know, it's pretty crazy, but it happens. That's just the reality of it. And then there's this wheelbarrow that made it back, but still has to be put in. Anybody else keep broken tools around for absolutely no reason? Well, here's another rain day, so yeah, it's downpouring. Could get 1 to 3 inches, and so we're just harvesting in the tunnels and around, some stuff outside too, trying to get that done so that we can do things outside, we can have a more productive day. So that's pretty much what today is. A big thanks to Pam and Larry. They are Charlotte customers and they also watch the videos, but they did some bicycling up in this area this week, but they camped here last night and they helped us harvest some stuff this morning. Some of what we got today. So this is all salad right here. See how much it's raining to water on top. There's Swiss chard in there, kale, more Swiss chard. I'm about to get turnips, radishes. We got carrot, collards. So it seems like every week it rains like this. It's pretty crazy. Just over an inch. So behind this rain is a cold front that's gonna send it down to like 30 for a few nights, give or take. Where we're at, another reason why it's important to know your microclimates. If they say 30 for the city that's this way, really we're a degree or two cooler. And this time of year, it makes a big difference because if you get to 28 or below, you can cause some real damage. And if the wind's blowing out of the mountains, then it could be even colder. Here in the front yard, that's the flower plot area up there. It gets shaded in the afternoon, like pretty heavily. And then this area right here, under the branches, I'm thinking about if we can put something there, prune up this canopy, and because it gets morning sun and then it's shaded and then it gets some afternoon sun. So summer greens, collards in fall and winter, and it gets a lot of water from the rain, so we can try and use our microclimates to try and figure that out. I'd like to get the plastic on these. We'll see if it gets windy later today, but I wanted to time lapse this too. So another YouTube video making fail is, yeah, we did it at night, so you couldn't see anything with the camera. And we had to do it at night because if you get just a little bit of wind, these things become sails, and I've been lifted off the ground by it before, and I don't want to do that again. So you have the channel that Janie and I put on, and you basically pull the plastic over, pull it tight, and put these in. They come in like 4-foot sections or something, maybe more, but they just crossed right here. And I was able to put all these in by myself. Tori was on a Zoom call, and then she came out and we put the strings on. See how big it is inside this mamma jamma? I gotta come in here and weed this, cultivate it, get the drip tape down for the carrots. Now it's a protected growing area, we can invest more time into it. Okay, we got the plastic on all 3 of them, thankfully, before the wind gets here and the cold. So those crops should be pretty protected, and the next big project, like I said before, is those trees. Yeah, that's cool. So I tried to show what I could of the whole process for these, but there's instructional videos. So I've said before kind of the plan for these, and right now what's planted is carrots. That whole tunnel is carrots. This is head lettuce and salad mix, and then in here is baby greens and cabbage. So we'll probably do, so when the carrots are done, we'll probably put salad in there, and then when the salad's done, we'll probably put roots in there. The tree's gonna act like a shade cloth. That normally in horticulture, that's what you put on your tunnel anyways, so these ones don't need the extra plastic. We have the tree, and this should be good. And then this tunnel over here, I don't know, we'll see. Probably like kohlrabies, try to do like kohlrabies and stuff like that into the summer. Today we're finishing harvesting and doing the watch and pack, and then we have to cover just about everything that we planted recently with row cover, because it's going to be 27 tonight, but then after that it warms up big time, and then we put tomatoes in, cucumbers, but these 2 cold nights are a real pain to deal with. Okay, so we got row cover on the sensitive things, like a lot of the small transplants we put in. But some of the more established stuff would be okay. It's already experienced the lows that we're gonna get tonight, which is like 27. And the reason we cover these, obviously, is to protect them from the cold. With all the wind, I have to come out and adjust them later when the wind dies down. But that will trap the heat in that the soil releases overnight, and also keep the cold air from like directly hitting the plants. So plant damage really happens at like 28 degrees, and a lot of the cold season stuff will probably be okay, and we didn't cover everything, so the things we didn't cover, I'll just irrigate them early tomorrow when it's the coldest part of the day, right before the sunrise, and that will warm up the plants to the well water is like 55 degrees, so probably stay somewhere in the 40s, and then the sun will hit them and they'll warm up that way and they should be okay. Alright, happy Easter. It's Sunday, it's super nice out. It even smells different. Like, I'm pretty sure it's all the trees leafing out and the grass like growing more actively, but it has more like the earthy smell. It's awesome. So the markets went pretty good yesterday. You never really know with holidays, it can be really good or really bad. So I'd say it was pretty decent. It's a big thanks to the customers that came out. It was really cold yesterday morning. Charlotte set a record, so most likely we did too. What are you doing? What are you doing, buddy? What's going on? Luna's catching on to the swing of things here. She really just likes to follow Addie and try and get her to play, and then Addie is super lazy. Employee of the month status, doing nothing as always. The onions did alright, uncovered. You can kind of tell when a plant had cold stress, it kind of droops over and it's like not as vibrant to the touch, like it's softer. So a lot of plants had that Friday morning and Saturday morning. They should bounce back. So with the wind and these guys not really being established, you can see this, the older growth that's where it was damaged, but the new growth down there is still good. So tomorrow we'll go through these beds and just see what needs transplanted and then transplant those. So what happens with the cold is it will freeze the water in the cells, and then that will end up cutting the cell walls, and then that's what damages the plants. It's not really the temperature you get to, it's the amount of time you spend below freezing. And your plants that are hardened off, so they've experienced this cold, they're obviously better off than ones that have only been in the nursery, or they've only been babied, and then you put them out here and they get exposed directly to all that cold. So yeah, that's the way it goes for spring though. Trying to juggle planting, harvesting, building tunnels. You know, we've been going to the market every week all winter, so keeping that rolling, plus getting into the spring and summer, everything we have to do for that, and then the infrastructure stuff that comes with that. So we're gonna fix up the wash station, a couple more plots probably for unique things, new tool shed, and then it's just knocked over the camera, and then yeah, then we'll think we're good. There'll be something else to do. So hope y'all like this one, and thanks for watching.